Good morning and welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 12th of November. So let's get on, look at these markets. First things first, let's just look at what news impact we might get today. Let's just click on here. I'm actually going to go to the Forex factory data here and just run through this. So this morning we've had a bit of data out, a bit of German data out already as well, but the more significant data we were really looking for was the claimant count change in the UK, and we're seeing that at 26.7 versus 30, so it's below the expectation. Average earnings sitting there at 4.3, which is up significantly from expectation and previous. That is not really a cheery figure in terms of interest rate cuts. Yeah, and it's probably the effect of the new government's agreement with the different striking parties. Anyway, so there we are. That's the result of that then. Aside of that, then we've got German economic sentiment coming out at 10 o'clock, and we've got a couple of FOMC even speakers, Fed speakers at 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. respectively. I think we've probably got more than that. There are other speakers coming out here. This is where this works out a little bit better. We've got some ECB speakers this morning. Fed speakers through a couple more. Waller and Sparking, they're significant. ECB speaker there, and Kashkari, always a key speaker, but later on at 7 o'clock. Right, anyway, so there's quite a few speakers out through the day. Let's get on and look at the technicals. You can't do anything about speakers, you just have to trade what you see then, unless it's something very special. So what we're seeing then is the euro continue to lose ground against the US dollar. We were looking at this yesterday as a potential trade. It sort of went quite early and it has continued, finding a bit of support at the moment onto its monthly S1. Now it's touched yet S1 before it's hit the pivot, so the scope is more likely that it could continue through down towards the S2 here, and there's the yearly S2 sitting down there as well. So at the moment the euro's looking quite soft. As I say, confirmed lower highs, running through that. Looking at it in the shorter time frame, well, it's again just much of the same. It did just come straight off yesterday from the morning update I did there. It did carry on, it was potentially a go with, but anyway, that's moving on up at the moment. The pound, moving on up, moving on down. It's a song I'm thinking of there, obviously. The dollar's moving on up. The pound continue to soften here as well, even with that news we've had out this morning. Looking softer. Got more downside to come at this rate, and looking weak across the board there at the moment. So it's already run through its S2, S1, S2. It doesn't give it a lot of scope. It's moved more in the Asian session than it did in the European session yesterday. The US dollar yen, well, yen's not moved. Let's just have a look daily wise. Didn't move that much yesterday. It got up to its sort of level and pretty much stayed there, consolidating, as you can see here. So it didn't really move too much. Yeah, it's quite ugly what I'm looking at here at the moment, so I'll skip past that. One currency I'm in a trade on, it set up a little trade yesterday. That's running at the moment. There's a little swing short. You see the lower highs kicking through here. It was setting up the bear flag that we've looked at in the morning there. It did roll over later in the early afternoon. It triggered there. It's not flying, but it's going in the right direction at the moment. The target's quite close by now, so it's halfway there roughly. But setups, it's not really setting anything, it's already moved. US dollar CAD, US dollar CAD still pushing up here, but I keep on having to come back here. And you can see it's possibly going to break out here from these previous highs. So it's running past the 2022 high. It's already beyond the 23 highs, and so we're making new highs over the last couple of years now. It looks soft. The sentiment's pretty soft on it overall, and well, I expect that we'll see further continuation. I haven't really got a trade on it here. It was looking soft yesterday morning, into the early afternoon, and went the other way, but we'll see what happens. But I haven't got a trade on that at the moment. New Zealand dollar, very consolidated where it is at the moment. It's really following the Aussie dollar to a degree, but not quite so strongly. Lower highs kicking through here, consolidation. It's not as interesting for me. It might break down from that consolidation there. Swissy yesterday continued on that route to the upside. It could be in for a longer move to the upside. It had already moved up quite a long way by there we go, 2 o'clock. Where are we? That's last week's. It already moved up quite a bit yesterday. That's what I was looking for, the hourly. And it's just trickled up a bit further through the Asian session there. Bit of a slow one, but I would like to see it come back to its daily pivot even. I'd like to see a little retracement to get into it. Last time it did a little tracement, it sort of barely went too far, having done it and then rolled over again, but we'll see. It's not really going anywhere. It's going upwards at the moment. The dollar strength is showing across all these markets. The euro yen, this looked like it was going to get a bit more of a bounce off its monthly pivot yesterday. Never really materialized. We saw a bit of one early on there, but it all folded over as we went through the morning there into the afternoon, and it's already done everything today. If this had been setting up this morning, it would have been looking quite nice, but it's already happened. So there's nothing there at the second. I don't know why I'm going through the rest of these now, these cross pairs. Euro pound, just looking at the pound, slightly the weakest at the moment as we're getting this today, but that could turn back. The overall trend is a stronger pound than the euro overall, but there we go. It's slightly the other way, the pound that bit weaker this morning. Okay, other crosses, Euro, Aussie, etc. They're all so quite a few that are very Euro New Zealand. In fact, the Euro New Zealand with that more stubborn New Zealand dollar seems to be holding, and we could see a breakdown of the lows here, a further breakdown. Okay, pound Aussie, I was that was the one. Caught into a short yesterday, but it never did anything, and then eventually stopped out. So that's sort of taken away some of the profit of the existing live one. But either way, should profit from the overall pair of trades that were taken. But pound just consolidated really into the afternoon, coming off better now actually. But would I take it right now? Not really. It's done too much. In terms of almost hitting the R1, and it's already hit the S1, so I'll leave that for now, which probably means it will roll over now. Anyway, we'll see. It has less probability. Gold is off still this morning, and it's continued its little path here. It is now starting to look a tad softer. I was looking at the sentiment yesterday by the bigger money, and that's coming out a little bit. um, lower highs. In fact, let's just run back, as I know that's left open the sentiment. Let's just have a quick look. There's gold sentiment. You can just see here this green line. This is the actual holdings of gold from the bigger money. You can just see it gradually working its way down. Price has still been running up, but the big money just coming off, and you can see it this week on the managed money there. Some of the longs coming out of that now. Maybe gold's had its time. We'll see, but well, technically it's putting lower highs in there. It's off already this morning, but so maybe as the upside is run its course for now at least. Western Texas oil continued off yesterday, looking pretty soft here at this stage. We're near the previous lows there. We could get a bounce, and it could be starting tidying up into some sort of range, sitting about $68 sort of area on with this broker. I say with this broker because everyone puts their own oil price in, so don't get too tied up on looking at the figures that are on the side here. Unless you're using Trade Nation, you'll have slightly different numbers. No one wants to pay for the fees. Anyway, lower highs coming through. A run into the pivot later today. That would be quite a nice stalling point if it stalls there for a short. So looking really on the short side of that at the moment. Right, that's pretty much it there. Equity markets, that's off slightly this morning, the S&Ps, but it did make new highs yesterday, where it was pretty much doing that in the morning. It was a bank holiday actually yesterday, and you can see it's not really done too much overall the futures there. We'll see how it picks up again today. Certainly not looking to short anything here. It's still looking quite bullish. The DAX bit more consolidated here now, so it's just tightening up. Quite ugly looking market on the higher time frames. Bit cleaner on the lower time frames here. It has broken, by the looks of things, the trend that was running across here, is it? Yeah. So it's broken that trend, so it's an ascending channel effectively sitting there. It looks like, well, if it's broken, we could see a continuation to the downside on that. We'll see how it develops, but it certainly was a little rising channel. But it was a rising channel nearer the top, so you've got to be a bit careful about this. So it was this area here, but it's not far away from all-time highs here, or near-term highs. Right, that's the DAX. The FTSE continues to chop. Yeah, I said that before I even looked at it. Oh, it's actually shaping into a reasonable downtrend here, coming off reasonably from yesterday. It didn't really do too much yesterday. Risk is it'll just do very similar, the same in terms of chop. We might get into a bit more of a trend, but not looking great at the moment there. Right, guys, I'm off. I'll wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning on an update. Take care. Bye for now.